PTPOP here, all four lobes of my brain saturated in first call resolution. Today I'm going to talk about an industry term, or an acronym, an abbreviation actually, it's not an acronym, called first call resolution, or FCR. Stay tuned. PTPOP here, and in the call center there is a term that the supervisors and the directors, or the nurse ratchets and the Colonel Clinks of the call center, or the Colonel Bullcoulter, or General Bullcoulter, like to refer to as first call resolution. This is a little dandy thing where they instill this idea of resolving a customer's call the first time they call in, so they don't have to call in again. So basically this is designed to make sure the customer service rep tries the best he can to resolve the customer's questions and issues within the first call they call in, within 7 minutes, so the customer doesn't have to call back in, wasting their time and wasting the company's time and the company's money. And what it's really about is the company's money. Because every time a customer calls back in, it costs the company money, because they're paying my salary, they're paying my benefits, they're paying the rent, the utilities, the whole thing is factored into a call. So all peppered throughout training, they've got Bill Fleetemeister. He's like, okay everybody, today we're going to talk about first call resolution. Woo! Everybody, first call resolution. Does anybody know what that is? Okay. And then they go off and talk about how you're supposed to handle the call and take control of the call, listen for the customer's needs, make sure you meet their needs, do it in a professional, polite manner, and get them on and off the phone within the recommended talk time allowance of 7 minutes, so they don't call back in and bother the company again. And they reinforce this FCR, or first call resolution, with all of these propaganda posters all over the call center. I mean, they're peppered everywhere. They're on all the walls, they're in the bathroom, and it's usually, like a government poster, like some propaganda poster, like Uncle Sam, like, you are FCR! Something like that. I think I'm showing some of them up here. And, there's like a picture of a really good-looking woman climbing up a mountain with the sun setting in the distance. It says, first call resolution will get you to the top, because it's going to help you meet all your statistics and the stats they want you to meet. And it's the biggest pile of crap anybody's ever going to hand you. A first call resolution in a call center that makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. You take a bunch of young to middle-aged adults, you put them in training for anywhere from 3 days to 6 weeks. The ones that I don't really get are the ones that are in training for like 3 days. You try to teach them the entire catalog of products your company has to sell, service, and talk about. And there's no way humanly possible that the traditional American or Indian person or Filipino or whoever you happen to be, regardless of your age, race, creed, or color, can learn that amount of information in such a short period of time, get on the freaking phones and talk about it intelligently, quickly, and provide first call resolution. It is complete madness. But we still want them to give first call resolution, but they're not going to be able to give first call resolution if you're not training them sufficiently, not giving them enough time to absorb the information they've been given to talk about your product coherently, clearly, and intelligently. So in essence, you're creating something that's guaranteed to fail. You're setting everybody in these call centers up to fail, especially when first call resolution. It's just not possible. I've seen too many people just completely not know what they're talking about. They get on the phones, the customer keeps calling back in. They'll call back in 5-6 times because they either didn't like the previous rep, or they don't like, something they said, or they don't like, something about them. They keep calling back in. They're going to keep calling back in. So you're providing a situation where you're setting people up to fail because the training you're providing doesn't adequately train them on what your company brings to the public. It doesn't adequately train people on your services and your product. So you're setting everyone and your company up to fail, and the customers up to fail. It's a totally ridiculous system But no one ever changes it. Even though you've resolved their issue, you've done it professionally, you've done it politely, they don't believe you. Okay? So if you send the least bit uncertain of your answer, they'll hang up and call back in, and the guy next to you will get the call. And they'll say, hey, Pete, did you just get this guy over here talking about the gay porn on his bank statement? And I'll say, yes, he calling it again? So then the call center Nurse Ratchet, your supervisor, will call you over. They will have somehow heard this call, and they'll say, you know what? I was listening to this call, and you didn't give first call resolution because the customer didn't believe what you told him, because you didn't sound confident in what you were saying. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Well, listen to the call, Pete. It sounds like you're kind of second-guessing yourself, and because you didn't sound certain of yourself, the customer didn't sound certain of your answer, so they called back in, and you got failed on first call resolution, and I'm sorry, I'm going to have to dock you like 10 points for that, which is like a failure of a call. So the thing is that when you're in a call center, you're walking like this tightrope. You know, you're walking this tightrope, and you have to say things exactly how they want you to say it, as quickly as they want you to say it. And if you don't, they write you up, and you fail your first call resolution because they'll have proof that the customer called back in 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 times. Another thing with these customers is when they call in and you have answered it, you've been professional, and they sound satisfied, they'll have record of it that they called back in because they forgot to ask you something related to that first call, which they end up blaming you because you should have asked them, like if you forgot to ask them, is there anything else I can help you with? Even if you do say that and they say no, and they call back and say, you know, that other guy forgot to tell me the balance of my credit card. Or you're supposed to look at their account and kind of guess, like become a psychic. You become Karnak the Magnificent. You're like, oh, customer, I see the clouds. The clouds are clearing, and I see that you need another credit card. Isn't that true? Why, yes, young man, you're quite you're with it. You're with it. You understand. I can see that. You know, or you're supposed to, like, if you see they have a house mortgage and you're in banking, you're supposed to, you know what? I see you've got a mortgage. Would you be interested in a home equity line of credit or a home equity loan? Well, let me get you over to the loan department. Would you like that? And then that's all first call resolution because you're seeing their needs. You're answering their initial question. You're seeking out additional things to help them with. And it keeps them from calling back and calling back and calling back and calling back because every call costs the company money. It's not about customer service. The thing that you've got to remember in a corporation is that they're going to tell you with all these cute posters and propaganda posters, and the director, you know, Dr. Spivey's going to come out and say, well, you really got to focus on your first call resolution and good customer service. It's not about that. It's about money. It's about saving the company money. And if they perceive that you're lackadaisical, you're not doing your job correctly, they perceive that you're costing the company money, and they're going to start writing you up because your talk time's too high. Talk time equals dollars. Customers calling back in equals dollars. Everything equals dollars to these people. You know, I just wish these call center people would say, you know what, take the calls, do the best you can, and get off the phone as quickly as possible, and that's it. But they come up with all these dynamics and these statistics and numbers and things you've got to follow. And if you don't fall within a certain percentage of these things they want you to fall into, then they fail you on the call, and you get failed, and you get written up, and you get fired, or you get, you know, you lose bonuses. You basically get demonetized, kind of like what YouTube has been doing. I mean, they'll steal your bonus from you, they'll steal your raises from you, they'll steal anything from you that they can, because everything is about money. And to think that you're going to get a human being to get someone on and off the phone in 7 minutes, professionally, precisely, comfortably, and get first call resolution is crazy. I wish somebody would investigate these call centers because they're as crooked as the day is young. They're awful. And most of them aren't unionized, and so they know it. They can get away with it because they all say it's a right to work state. If you don't like it, there's the door, Charlie. Oh, man. So that's first call resolution. Something they push on you from the day you step foot into the door of these call centers and the day you leave. If you like my videos, subscribe. Say hello. Give me more ideas. Have a good day. Bye.